My name's Larissa, and I've been invited to talk today about my experience. I've just returned home from serving abroad in Ethiopia for 2 years as a Peace Corps volunteer. And my motivation for going into the Peace Corps, I'd wanted to do it for a long time, but for several years I lived in Sandpoint and was kind of leading the perfect life of a ski bum in the wintertime and working in the forest in the summertime, and it was a happy life, but I didn't feel fulfilled. I wanted to do something more, and I wanted to feel like I was actually helping. So I went to Africa, and then I learned how hard it is to really help. That was quite humbling in realizing how complex the world is and how difficult it is to just kind of come in from a different culture and try to change things. I think the longer I was there, the more I realized how little I knew and how little I understood the culture. And it was a difficult time, but I knew that's part of the reason why I wanted to go, was to grow myself. I wanted to help, but I knew ultimately I would grow more in my own ways. And while I was there, I felt extremely fortunate to have the Dharma in my life that I'm looking back now and I'm like, wow, I don't know if I would have made it if I didn't have the Dharma for a lot of different things. And one of the things I think that helped the most in a way was just setting the morning motivation of waking up every morning. And I loved just laying in bed a few extra minutes and thinking about how grateful I was to be where I was and to have a nice little warm home, and also to, in a way, to know that the experience was going to be temporary and permanent, that I wouldn't be living there for my whole life. And so it was a mix of being grateful and realizing impermanence and trying to kind of open my heart to being present in the moment with the suffering and the people that I was seeing. Let's see, another part of the impermanence was helpful on bus rides. Like I had a 10-hour bus ride from my town to the main capital, which I had to do quite frequently. And so having that thought of impermanence, okay, 10 hours, this will go by, and being squished and really stinky and really uncomfortable situations, I was like, okay, this will pass. This isn't going to last forever. In 2 years, I will probably most likely, hopefully, be back home in the States, and this will just be a dream. So, yeah, a lot of reflecting on impermanence and just throughout the day trying to be mindful, coming back to my breath of when I could feel myself getting angry or frustrated or not listened to, and communication barriers of just like breathing and being like, okay, this is going to pass, and this is an incredible moment. It's an incredible opportunity to be where I'm at and to have that kind of bigger perspective on things. Another big thing that I used was kind of Tonglen, in seeing the suffering and the mothers on the street begging for food for their kids, and a lot of people were disfigured with polio. Polio is a pretty big problem there, and so wanting to help, but realizing that I couldn't kind of on a personal level, but just allowing myself to feel that pain and feel that kind of suffering, and like, wow, this is hard for a lot of people. And several times I was able to kind of just like feel my heart opening and being like, feel that pain, not just ignoring it and blocking it out, but to just really recognize it. And then I was able to kind of connect with it more, and just to really just feel it was much more powerful than ignoring it. Was another big thing. And I think I found that the best way to really help in the long run was just to be present with people. Like I tried, there were all sorts of cultural barriers, language barriers, gender barriers, and all sorts of obstacles to really doing a big, successful project. But I think the way I feel that I was able to help the most was just on the really small level of just little personal contact, especially with the kids, and taking the time to be present with them rather than just ignoring them, say, oh, I have to go to this meeting, which will probably be canceled anyways, just to be like, oh, I'll take the extra time to slow down and greet people and enjoy being where I am right now, because a lot of the work and the busyness wasn't important, but it was just those little interactions that I had, and that I could just see the joy on the Ethiopians' faces and the kids of just, oh, this white person's actually looking at us and talking to us. And that was, I think, the biggest difference that I could make. So hopefully I did help, and I think it's like a ripple effect thing that I'll probably never see the benefits that hopefully I did, but hopefully sometime. And I know I certainly gained a lot for myself. So it was a hard experience, but I'm very, very grateful that I did it. So thank you.